Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy. Nicocado avocado made me quit intuitive eating. I'm 23 years old, 5'2", and 120 pounds currently. I have fluctuated all my life between 105 and 150, reached really easily, and have always been on some sort of diet to maintain a healthy weight. For the past 2 years, I've lost and maintained weight with a mix of one meal a day and alternate day fasting, eating all foods. I came across intuitive eating and was immediately interested because I wanted to let go of all these restrictions and live like a normal person, eating whatever I want, whenever I want. I read the book, loved everything about it, and practiced intuitive eating for a month. As a result, I gained 10 pounds. My blood sugars are elevated again, my joint pain is back, and I feel like crap. Recently, I stumbled upon Nicocado Avocado's channel and binged his videos. According to intuitive eating, he should be at his set points and living a balanced life since he doesn't deny himself any food. But this is clearly not the case. His channel and my personal experience with intuitive eating made me want to quit because of their promises just sounds like a pipe dream to me. I just re-downloaded the Zero app and I'm back on my usual fasting routine. Has intuitive eating worked for anyone, or has anyone had a similar experience to me? Because I just feel like I've been duped. Just my opinion, but I think people who have been overweight or underweight can't do intuitive eating easily. Because we had messed up our hunger cues and normally have quite a messed up relationship with food. As an aside, it sort of annoys me when people make posts on the subreddit being significantly overweight, like I was, and asking if it's healthy to eat under 1,000 calories a day because they aren't hungry. We didn't get to be overweight by not eating, so we need to learn to eat appropriately. I think my mind can't, maybe with therapy would change, intuitively eat, because eating without being conscious led me to being obese. Equally, I can have a tendency to try and undereat, which leads to overeating. So I have to ignore intuition and now eat according to what science tells me I approximately need. Anyway, good luck on your journey. I don't believe that intuitive eating can match optimal health for the average person when there are scientifically developed hyper-palatable and craveable foods surrounding us. Some degree of external control is needed to prevent falling into a processed foods trap. I'm glad you found something that works. Have you tried eating multiple scheduled meals in a day, or do you anticipate only eating once a day for the foreseeable future? With intuitive eating, I think it's difficult to decipher between hunger and boredom or thirst. I've realized that many times I think I'm really hungry, it goes away completely if I drink some water and occupy my mind for a few minutes. I have struggled with binging and have had food issues since childhood, so my barometer for feeling full and identifying what my body needs broke a long time ago. That being said, going through the steps of actually losing weight in a healthy manner, gaining understanding of my habits and triggers, and now maintaining has helped me find a middle ground. I don't think I'll ever have a totally carefree relationship with food, but I also don't think I'll have to count calories for life. Yeah, not my thing. Been around forever though. Just recently I read the book on it, Evelyn Triboli's Intuitive Eating, 1995 with updates, and it was pretty interesting. But she flat out says it's not for weight loss, and many people gain weight doing it, sometimes a lot. So I'm not really sure what the point would be. But I never had EDs either, I just like gummy bears. Isn't he known for binging junk food on camera for others' entertainment? I'm not sure how that would be akin to intuitive eating. Anyway, as for your actual question, I used to count calories, and I did find weight loss success, but I also found unhealthy behaviors, thinking, and ED. It was not sustainable or a happy life for me. So now I try to make healthy choices that will make me feel good, but I no longer count calories. I suppose it could be considered a version of intuitive eating. I do exercise 5 to 6 times per week for about 45 minutes per session. It works for me. I don't really eat intuitively because I have a timetable for when I do eat, but I don't count calories or anything like that. But I can't eat sugar because of my hyperinsulinemia. Other than that, I don't really restrict myself. I eat sugar-free sweets, salty snacks, and go for seconds at lunch when I feel hungry. but I do work out a lot as well. As a result, I'm pretty much maintaining or losing a little bit, but that's also because I don't eat much these days. Counting calories never worked for me, simply because I was and still am too lazy to check the calories of everything I eat throughout the day. But I've been following this lifestyle for years, with smaller breaks here and there, and I've been on a weight loss journey since the age of 11. So I think it's safe to say that it's only working for me because I got to know my body enough and learned enough that I actually want the better choices. Know where to stop and instantly know what to do when I notice myself gaining weight. I don't know. To me, intuitive eating doesn't mean eating whatever you want. You'd still have to make the right choices to have good results, but you're not restricting yourself to the point of not being able to enjoy food anymore. So, even though I don't fully follow intuitive eating, I think I can see how it can work for some people. I'm having a little trouble trying to figure out this intuitive eating thing. If I'm following this correctly, for example, if your total daily energy expenditure is 2k calories, then towards the end of the day, you're at 2k calories consumed, but you're hungry, so you should eat again just because you feel hungry? There isn't anything intuitive about all that to me. That's just how you gain weight, by eating over your TDE and BMR. Unfortunately, I am aware of Nico Cotto's channel, and it doesn't take a nutritionist or a doctor to see that there isn't anything intuitive about eating 3 large pizzas all to yourself, or having 5,000 calories a day. He has a severe ED or food addiction, and is in denial about it. However, I'm really glad it gave you a whole new perspective on things. Original poster, don't feel duped. Looks like you came around, and that's all that matters. Counting my calories religiously and sticking to strict macros percentages for 4 months really opened my eyes on losing weight and maintaining it. I would have never have come up with this on my own. It's basically eating high lean protein and veggie diet. Most people I know don't eat like that. Maybe it would have worked 200 years ago, but not with the foods that are available now. Too much fat, too much hidden sugar. Intuitive eating is not possible today. I've never spent much time watching YouTubers that claim to be into intuitive eating, so I have nothing to say on that. I will only speak to my experience. For me, intuitive eating was about learning how to A, listen to my body and use it to guide how I eat, and B, move past the internal conflicts that led me to an ED, binge ED. Consider this semi-fictionalized example of how intuitive eating works for me. 1. Recognizing that I'm craving sugar and adjusting my diet to meet that desire. 2. Eating some highly processed food with lots of sugar and recognizing that eating that made me feel worse. 3. Synthesizing that knowledge into the next moment of desire and making a different choice. A huge bag of grapes instead of a bowl of cookies. 4. Recognizing that eating the grapes both satisfied the craving and made me feel good. This contrasts with times where I've tried more restrictive eating patterns, where the following would occur. 1. Crave sugar. 2. Try and ignore, and resist the craving until I binge. Or 2A. Eat less than I want. I only have 50 calories left, so I can only have X of the thing I want, and then trying to use willpower to resist. And 3, feel guilty for not being able to resist, and creating a narrative that I can only be proud of myself if I deal with cravings by 100% ignoring or resisting them. Intuitive eating doesn't make sense when we're surrounded by Western foods. Dogs eat intuitively. Pretty sure my wee pupper doesn't count our calories, but if you let them run loose in a grocery store for a few weeks, they'd not be thriving by the end of it. I now only eat starches, legumes, fruits, and vegetables. No added oils or sugars. I'm pretty sure within the bounds of these restrictions, I could eat intuitively and be fine, but not if I allowed dairy and meats and sugar and spice and everything nice into my mouth hole. TLDR, intuitive eating only makes sense when you only have access to healthy, whole foods. There are so many opinions here, and I value everyone's opinions. I never thought of it as intuitive eating, but my PCP suggested I try intermittent fasting. I rallied against a feeding zone, but I noticed that I routinely eat my first meal between 9 and 11 a.m., even though I get up early and work out. I am not hungry. I eat my second meal around 2:30 p.m. and my third around 6:30. I've discovered that when I eat when I'm hungry and not at a set time, I'm more satisfied and eat less. I follow Weight Watchers Purple and aim to stay within my 8 points. I have found that eating more whole foods and focusing on plant-based, I am more satisfied. I do still eat eggs and some dairy and meat and fish, but much less. I was insanely hungry all day when I had an early breakfast, a mid-morning snack, lunch at noon, a snack before leaving work, and dinner at 6 p.m., and always crave junk at night before bed. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. Down by 73 pounds as of this morning. Definitely did not think I'd make it this far, but excited to keep going.